Hey kids, we're back. You're watching Guitar Quackery Live. This is a one and only live streaming guitar repair channel on YouTube. Yeah, so this is what you're watching. And I'm about to send a link to the customer so he can watch. Copy and paste job. Just like that. And boom. So he has been watching all the live streams. This is part 4. Live streams of his guitar. This is a kind of new service. I started this about 7 months ago. People seem to like it, so they watch their guitars being worked on. We also have an entryway TV, so I like to give our customers here the opportunity to watch. It's also good advertising for the shop, for the repair shop. So this is Guitar Quackery. It's a repair shop for guitars located in New York City in a rehearsal studio called Bob Elliott's Music Makers. Fantastic rehearsal space. They also have other programs here. So I am a different, separate business really, but I rent the space here. So hold on, I need to make this work. Yeah, so this gives you some time to log on. I see I don't have an audience yet. And then I will start working on this guitar. It's a vintage Martin 0017 guitar. And now it's streaming outside as well. So there's a waiting area with, comfortable chairs and a TV. And people can watch. I think it's a, unique service. I don't think anyone else is doing this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But I am not going to ever be able to stream every single job that I put on the bench, right? I don't think I ever will. Now, there's also an announcement. I have an announcement, kind of, minor announcement, but there isn't an audience yet, so maybe later. All right, so let's just start with this. So on the bench is this old guitar, Martin, 0017. It's got something here. I'm not gonna fix this. Well, obviously it's got some scratches, as you can see. I loosened the strings because I'm going to make a new saddle, and I was already hoping to start this procedure, but where is it? Here. The part that I bought, which was the blank bone saddle from All Parts, was no good. I'll show you. I already showed this in one of the previous live streams. You can see that it's bent. Okay, so that was the problem. I did buy a whole bunch of new blanks. I'll show you. So they changed their packaging. So now this is the same company, just different packaging, right? I already opened one, but I bought 3. Okay, so these are bone blank saddles, 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Okay, and this one seems to be straight. more or less. They're never going to be 100% straight, right? Because they are, I mean, within tolerance is good. I also bought these. So these are not the same. I bought these just in case. These are, as you can see, it says wide bone saddle. So these are really thick, kind of like a nut. So if you need more material to carve a saddle with more compensation on it, I guess, you know, there could be situations where you need a wide piece of bone. It's much wider than this. I think it's 1/4 of an inch, and this is 1/8, so double. Yeah, so I hope that I won't be needing these because it's going to take more work to carve it down to the 1/8 inch width or thickness, I guess. Yeah. I loosened the strings already, and I broke one string. I broke the high E, but it doesn't matter because we are going to take these strings off completely this time because we also need to fix the tuners. So the tuning knobs have already been replaced, and this one doesn't work at all. And these have fractures. Okay, the original ones probably disintegrated over time. So let's remove the strings. Oh, and the customer ordered new bridge pins. So we have this here. These are the new bridge pins, and these are the knobs for the tuners. The bridge pins are ebony. That's what it says. That's what I recommended. Because this guitar has an ebony nut, so the bridge pins will match. Okay, need to loosen the strings completely so I can pull them out. So what I'm doing today is just some prep work for the saddle fabrication, and also some prep work for the tuner knob replacement job. Obviously, I will explain everything, and I'll show you everything. You know how many times I stab my fingers on these strings? More than I care to admit. Okay, so here we have a little bit of a leftover from the string that broke. Let's remove that as well. Okay, I recycle strings. Here I have a recycling bin. So that's the Dario program. You can download a shipping label if you have a lot of strings, or you can go to your local music store that might be participating in the program. They might have a bin. Usually it's a bin with the Dario logo on it, and you bring your old strings there, and you can, you know, next time you go to the music store, you can just dump them in their bin, and they will recycle them for you. Okay, they would basically send them to the Dario. They don't make new strings. They just are working with a company that recycles metal, basically. Okay, now let's zoom in on this saddle on the bridge. So this was just a placeholder saddle. I just had an old saddle. I just put it there so I can put the strings back on. Now, the new saddle is this. So is it straight? Not 100%, right? But it's straight enough. This side seems to be a little more straight than the other one. So let's place it inside. And you can see this is, well, this seems to be a tight fit, better like this. Okay, I can move the entire guitar. I can lift the entire guitar by holding the saddle, you see that? So it's a tight fit. Okay, we want it to be seated all the way down. And we also want to mark off the bass side. I usually mark off the bass side from the bottom. So why don't I show you how I do that? Just put an X here, okay? So this is the bass side. So where is this? Here, okay. Okay, so now I want to just trace. This is a 0.3 millimeter pencil, mechanical pencil. Okay, I'm just going to trace this, kind of mark off where the end is. Same thing here. Kind of mark off where this is. So this bridge has been shaved. Okay, this is why it's rounded off like this. This I'm just lightly marking, and I do the same on the other side now. So, this is something I will cut at home. I have a fabrication shop at home in my basement, and that's where this work will take place. So I actually need to extend this curve up like this on both sides. Okay, and now we need to draw the top of the saddle. So first we need to know what is the radius of the fingerboard. So I just pull out my radius gauges and we'll take a measurement. Yeah, I have all standard radius gauges here. Sometimes the radius of the fingerboard isn't actually standard, so we'll see. Let me start with a 14-inch radius, which is this one. So there's a number 14 here. And I'm just going to place it on the board first. Just kind of take a measurement. So I'm pushing down, and I think it's a good idea to focus. Okay, you see the number 14, right? So if I push down, And if I can't fit the feeler gauge, that means it's matching. But that's the board. So now we want to make sure the frets are also the same radius. So there's a little space here. Let's try this fret. As you can see, there's it's within tolerance. So this is the 14-inch radius. I do have a 15-inch radius as well. This is a 16-inch. That's 17? That's a 15-inch radius. So let's measure our frets with a 15-inch radius gauge. It still goes through. And the board so yeah, I'm not sure anymore. Let's take the 14-inch radius gauge. I can kind of almost put it through. How about the 16-inch radius? So now we have open gaps on the two sides. What about the frets? It's very tight, but it is going through. It seems to be pretty close to a 16-inch radius. And we won't be refretting this guitar. Maybe I will level off a few frets here, just very lightly. But it seems to be closer to a 16-inch radius. So this is it. Now I need to use the 16-inch radius to draw the curve for the top of the saddle. Okay? And I will just place it like this and draw. But we first need to know at what height. So I did have this saddle here initially, and the string height was kind of okay. It was a little higher than we want it to be, but this means that okay. So you see this one wiggles, it doesn't matter. I just want to measure the height from, so it's seated. I want to measure the height here at the first string and at the last string. And I am going to use just a caliper for that. Well, the usual suspects are here. Dr. Jeffrey Boyle and Aficionado. Are you the craftsman of the acoustic saddle? I don't know. I'm gonna make one. Maybe. All right. So I'll use it's easier for me to use metric measurements for this. So this is how it works when you open it here, right? This comes out. So here, right here, we measure the height. So we are at 3 millimeter height, and now I'll measure the height here. About 3.5. I'm going to call it about 3.5. So what do we do with this? I think I need to reposition my camera. So this isn't a high-risk procedure, so I'm just going to use the guitar top. Okay. We do need another piece of bone like this. I'll show you why. And this is one reason why I keep smaller fragments. Or just another saddle. Here. Okay. So, why do we need this piece? Well, I'm basically going to lay the radius gauge like this to draw a line. That's it. Okay. So let's bring this here, and we just need to kind of rough it in. This won't be the exact final position or measurement. So this is about where the first string is. This is about where the last string is. All right. And we need to measure from this line here to here 3 millimeters. And you know, there's a good old Chinese proverb that says, measure twice, cut once. So I'm going to take another measurement here. Yeah, it's about 3. Here it says now 3.14 this time. Whatever, it's close enough. I'm going to overshoot a little bit anyway, right? I'm going to make it a bit taller. And now I take another measurement here at the 6th string. Uh, 3.39, which is 3.4, which I'm going to call it 3.5. I'm going to just extend it a little bit. So yeah, again, I overshoot a little bit because I don't want to cut it too short. And now I place this piece of bone here, so I can put this radius gauge right here. Maybe this way. Push down. Yeah, I think that's good. So now we have a 16-inch radius, and I can just extend it like this. It's fine, it's good enough. And extend this up. So this is going to come off, right? And like I said, I want to overshoot everything, so I'm actually going to cut it a little bit outside of this line. Same here and same here. And as you recall, this is a really nice and tight fit. And I can even lift the guitar. Oh, okay, so now it came out. But, you know, it's not too tight. It's just right, to be honest with you. I can lift the guitar almost. Okay. So now I am going to take this saddle to my shop. Oh, sorry. This is my shop. To the other shop. And cut it. I have a drum sander and a disc sander. So this is what will be used to cut this. I might actually cut off some chunks before. Yeah, I'll see. With the saw. Right, I believe I will. So these parts will be cut with these two with the drum sander, and this convex curve with a disc sander, right, like this. That's it. And then once that's cut, I will bring it back here, and then we finish it off on the guitar, right, to make it match perfectly. So that's that. Now let's talk about the tuners, the tuner knobs. So let me bag this. Oh, I said at the beginning that I do have a small announcement to make. Small, minor announcement. I will be doing a review, hopefully tonight, of a new product. Why do I do reviews? Well, it gets me views, okay? It's for the main channel. I might even do a partial review on this channel. A review of a new product, okay? And I also bought a new t-shirt to wear during the review. So it's a Fender product. So Fender moved the production to Indonesia. I'm sure most of you know this. And I bought a guitar today. So the case was sold separately. This will be a completely unbiased review, like all of my reviews are. That's the guitar, brand new. Okay, so you already see kind of like the two-tone here. So that's not like a 5-star review already, right? Look, it's a quality-made instrument. It's made mostly by a robot, right? A CNC machine. So does it really matter if the CNC machine is in Mexico or in Indonesia? Not that much, right? And they have talented people in both countries anyway, right? So they just got to get the right people to work on these, and quality control is something that is important. So maybe, let's see how the work goes. Maybe later tonight I will do not a complete review, but like a kind of like a sneak preview review of this guitar for you on this channel, live streaming, and then record a review for the main channel. And then I got to do some editing and post it hopefully tomorrow morning. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So now let's talk about the tuning machines. Oh yeah, and I might buy a Strat. So I saw 3 guitars today. 2 Strats, 1 Tele, this one. There will be basses, obviously, as well. I'm sure a P bass and jazz bass will be the first two. And then they'll have 5-string basses and all that in the future. I guess, I think it would make sense. So I believe these frets have been leveled at some point, which is why, you know, this radius isn't probably what it was when the guitar was made. I don't know. But we need to match the radius of the saddle to the frets that are on the guitar, not to the frets that were on the guitar the way they were when the guitar was made a long time ago, right? Because we need the saddle to work with these frets. We optimize it for these frets that are here now. Okay. Oh, we can still talk about the bridge because we have these bridge pins. So we want to try them out. Very well made in Germany. Well, they could have been made in Indonesia. I'm sure they can make good bridge pins in Indonesia as well. But these were made in Germany. So this is the bag they come in. Let me just, yeah, this way. How about that? I keep changing my mind. Ebony. Now, I see one of them is lighter than the other 5. Slightly. But that doesn't bother me. I think, you know, natural wood is natural wood. These pins are not of the slotted variety, right? There's no slot. So this guitar had these plastic pins, which are not the original ones with a slot. But the thing is that these holes are slotted, so you don't use slotted pins when you have slotted holes. If you use slotted pins with slotted holes, then you turn it around so that it becomes a non-slotted pin, okay? So let's see. These should be slightly larger than the plastic ones. I think it's a good fit as it is. I was really hoping they would be a slightly tighter. This one is. But let's see. Oh, so the pins are not the same diameter. Look at that. There's a difference. So this one pin is different. And you can see that little collar, this thing, ring, whatever, is different on this one. I am going to compare these two. Through the microscope. Made in Germany. Okay, so you can clearly see this isn't the same. So that's the small pin, the one that sinks all the way down. I think it's the same one, it's just been shaved too much. And now it became smaller. So we need to get a replacement pin. So these were sold by StewMac, and StewMac is a phenomenal company. I'm sure they will send a replacement pin or maybe even a replacement set. So I need to document this, and the customer bought these. So I'll discuss it with the customer. I'm sure the customer's watching. It's not a problem that can't be resolved very easily. It happens. But I tell you, those Germans, they're not what they used to be. Aye, aye, aye. Okay, now we need to do some prep work here. And let me take this neck rest. So these are old tuning machines. First, let's have a look. We have focus. This one. It was not installed properly, okay? I think somebody just warmed up this thing and just tried to mount the pin, and it melted a whole bunch of plastic, but it was never done right. They might be the same. They are the exact same knobs. Did I say pin? I meant knob. Okay, they are the exact same knobs. But this one's been damaged, okay? And the other ones, they weren't really installed properly. Let's have a look through the microscope. I see a close-up of it. So you can see this. Can you guess which one is the old one? So if you see, if you look inside, you can see that, let me zoom in. It's good to examine everything so we know what we're dealing with. So there's a step on the inside. Okay? And we don't want to enlarge this hole, but we still want to drill a hole, like a round hole through this, so that we have a little bit of a relief here and here. And that's going to be for this, okay? So this is, I'll show you the shape of it. Is like this, right? This is the shape of it. And that's a round shaft, right? So now I want to take a measurement of this, and that'll tell me which drill bit to use for the drilling. Yeah, so again, with a caliper, just take a simple measurement. There is a video on the StewMac website by Dan Earlywine, I should say Dr. Dan Earlywine. He shows you how to do this, and I'm going to use his method. I don't think there is a better method than what he shows. And in fact, that's why he's showing it. You know, when you have a vintage guitar, just move slowly. That's my recommendation. Okay. I have the guitar like this now, as you can see. And now I am going to take a measurement of the diameter of this shaft, post, whatever. So I align it like this. I am in metric, 3 millimeters, 3.07. So that's about 1/8 of an inch. Let's do this. Fifteen 1/28 of an inch. So now if I go in this direction, that's 7/64. But if I go in this direction, larger, it becomes 1/8 of an inch. So you see this 7/64 of an inch. That might be the size that we need. I don't know. What's the size of this? 3/32. And that's really confusing, which is why I like metric. So 2.3 millimeters. 2. I'm going to say an average of 2.35, depending on how I... Okay, 2.35 is close enough. And this is 3. We said 3 and change. So let's do this. Let's make it exactly 3 millimeters. So it's not easy to adjust this. Such small measurements. Okay, let's do this again. 3.02. Okay, 3, whatever. I lock it here. And now I change to inches. These are decimal inches. 0.1175. Okay. And now that's slightly smaller than the shaft by a very small amount. 0.1175. Let's remember that. I have these drill bits here. So because I don't have a metric set, we're doing this in decimal inches, okay? So you've seen me use these a lot, and in fact, I do recommend this set. They come in handy. Okay, so we have 0.1175. So now I look for 11.6, this one. This is also called the 32 gauge drill bit. And this should measure in metric, so this should be slightly smaller. It should be slightly less than 3 millimeters in metric. You see, 2.88. And now in inches, 15 1/28. If I open it a little bit, this becomes 1/8 of an inch. Okay? And if I really close it, 7/64. So this fractional inch display is going to show you just the closest one within the 1/28 of an inch resolution, right? So it seems like our number 32 drill bit is the one to use. All right. Now, it isn't straightforward to just drill into this and keep it straight. Like I said, there's a video on the StewMac website. I think they call it their Trade Secrets series of videos. Then early one shows how to drill this on the drill press. And I have a milling machine, so it's even better than a drill press. I will need to make a small jig, alignment jig. Yeah, so that comes next. Okay, so number 32. Anything else? Well, I can put these away. I will put a link in the description. And let's remove the tuning machines now. Because the mounting will be done away from the guitar. It involves some heat. And yeah, we don't want to do it on the guitar. Okay. I want to put the exact same tuning machines back on the exact same strings. So the way I'll do this is like this. Oh, you see this fell off? Oh, that was the one, right? I'm going to put the screws back. Okay. So that's the D. Now we could also replace the tuning machines, but then they wouldn't be the original ones. This will also give me the chance to clean them and lubricate them. Yeah. I have an ultrasonic cleaner. So I will put them in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm just trying to decide when would be the best time. So this is going to be the E. E6, right? Not E1. A. So I want to clean them before I install the knobs, but it is against my best judgment to remove the knobs just now, because if anything goes wrong with these, then I just messed it up, or not messed it up, but kind of delayed the completion of the project. So this guitar doesn't have a truss rod. So if you leave the guitar without strings on for an extended period, it might be a good idea to loosen the truss rod. There's nothing to be done here. Okay, that's that. And like I said, I want to put the same screws back in the same place. And I don't tighten them all the way, obviously. Once again, when you put the screws back into wood screws back into wood, it's a good idea to you know, go counterclockwise first until it clicks down. I can feel that my screwdriver kind of like clicks, the vibration goes through, and I can feel it in my hand. This way you don't keep cutting fresh threads in the wood. Oh. Oh. So it's really important, by the way, for screws not to be too tight, especially close to the edge of the wood, because if they're too tight, they can split the wood. I've seen it happen, by the way. Okay, so we have, that's that. What else? I think that's it. I'm going to put the guitar back. There's a humidifier in the case, but now I can't put a humidifier here, obviously. But it also is stored in a humidity-controlled room. So I think it's all good. Okay, so now the saddle. Yeah, I think I want to chop off the corners. So just take my little vise. I can do it this way, and just with a razor saw. Where do I have it? Here. You know what? I want to remove this first. I use this razor saw a lot for bone, and again, I'll remember to put a link. And remember, bone is brittle, can be brittle. So now I don't really care if it breaks off there. There you go. And now, like this, I think. That's a really good saw for bone, by the way. It's got a very fine teeth. Because I wouldn't want to use this drum sander for a removal of everything, right? So. And luthiers, by the way, they really hate the smell of bone. Yeah, being sanded. So it's also not healthy to breathe in inhale the dust. You know, you can see that I'm kind of stupid, right? I could have just moved the whole thing, shifted everything to one side so I wouldn't have to remove this part now. But I. Okay, I can break this off, and now this part, and then perhaps even part of that. It goes quickly. Like I said, it's a really good saw for bone. Okay. And now, yeah, I wonder if I should cut it like this a little bit. Let me see how practical it is. Not very. I could cut it like this. Okay, but I need my heavy duty vise. Does it smell like tooth being drilled? I don't think so. It's a different smell. similar. This is a good vise as well. I guess I'll put a link to this as well. And a link to the StewMac vise. So I always like to edit the descriptions after the live streams. You see? Like that. This way. Will this work? I think so. So I am holding my finger here against this. So when I go like this, it's positioning my the blade. You never want to cut it too close to the line, because if it chips at the end, you want it to be away from your final cut, from your final shape or outline. As you can imagine, bone dust does clog up the sanding disc. So if you use it too aggressively, you are going to produce burn marks on the bone at the finishing stage, which is exactly when you don't want to see any burn marks. So you want to remove as much material as you can before you do the sanding. Okay, that looks good. I think I'm gonna go for this as well. Oops. I just scraped the surface a little bit. I've done quite a few lengthwise cuts for saddles. There you go. Okay. So we have these small pieces. I'll show you this through the microscope. Yeah, why not? It's interesting. So bone is a natural tissue, right? And yeah, let's see. This is it. So this is how the bone grows. Many have said that bone is actually not the best material for a nut or a saddle. Oh. Okay. We have this here now. So this is not the final product, obviously. Okay. And now I can take it home, and like I said, this is gonna be shaped on the drum sander, and this is on the disc sander, okay? And I'm in fact going to be using this vise on the disc sander, like this. So now imagine that this is our disc sander, right? So it's just gonna go like that, actually on this side, right? It's a 10-inch disc, so it's bigger than this. 10-inch diameter, not radius. Okay, so far, so good. Yeah. Okay, so this goes, okay, this is garbage. This goes here. So I need to bring these things with me to the fabrication shop. I say fabrication shop to avoid saying home. So, you know, I have a basement in my house. So that's it. I need to make an alignment jig for the drill press or / milling machine. So you won't see me do this work or this work because I don't have a camera set up there, but it needs to be done. So it's going to be done off camera. Then next time I see you, this will be closer to being finished. It's not going to be completely finished. We're going to finish it on the guitar. And these will be all drilled. And like I said, this is easier said than done. And then we are going to install these. But I also need to remove these at some point, obviously. I guess after I successfully drill these holes, okay? I remove these and then clean the hardware in the ultrasonic cleaner, which I have right there. So this I usually put here. So, you know, honestly, maybe I'll do that off camera because I have nothing else to do on the guitar. Or maybe I could be shaping part of the saddle. Maybe, yeah. Okay. So while I'm shaping part of the saddle on the guitar, the ultrasonic cleaner can do its thing. But then we need to make sure that these are dry before we put them back on the guitar. So, yeah, I'll think about the whole procedure and how it will make sense with the live stream. Okay, my friends, that's that. 6 of you watching, 3 likes. Thank you. That's 50% likes. Well, actually 5 of you watching because one, my phone counts as 1, right? So more than 50% likes. That's good. Okay, nothing more, right? I am going to take a short break and think about which project to put on the workbench next. So click, click, click. Tell your friends about this channel because I'm trying to make this channel grow so that it can get monetized, so that the replays can play ads. And maybe I monetize it in other ways as well with sponsors, so that we can advance this whole format of servicing guitars with live streams. It's going to make it easier. Yeah, all this equipment costs, right? Okay. Yeah. What else? Am I forgetting anything? I will put links, and I guess I'll see you soon-ish. Okay? It always takes me a while to start streaming because sometimes I need to make a thumbnail. I need to look over, the links in the description, etc. And I always need to take a break between 2 projects. All right. Thank you, my friends, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.